What's up, freaks? This is just me, and today we're gonna be exploring the best physique of Andrea Shaw's bodybuilding career up to the year 2021 because I haven't learned to predict the future yet. So let's firstly clarify we are only gonna be looking at the best package she brought to a woman's bodybuilding show. I'm talking about this because up to 2019 Andrea was a woman's figure competitor and, for the most part, physique competitor. I'm gonna be judging only between her women's bodybuilding class physiques, which are 2019 to 2021, and we're gonna be seeing physiques from 2020 and 2021 competitions in this video. So hopefully that made sense, and without further ado, let's get into it. To start off, we're gonna look at one honorable mention that I think it's appropriate, and that's gonna be Andrea Shaw's first bodybuilding Olympia win in 2020. She was really sharp and looked amazing, as you can see in these pictures, especially the lower body looked exceptionally from the back, and she looked incredible in the lat spread. And look at the arm and delt in the side tricep, the side leg too, it looks glorious. With that being said, I decided not to put this version into the final comparison for the best package to date for Andrea because I felt that in the few shows she did right before or after, she looked comparably diced and she looked improved in certain body parts a little bigger. But I gotta give it up for this 2020 Olympia version win. Beautiful physique. And now let's move on to my top 3 physiques. On the left, 2020 Rising Phoenix competition, which is really important in female bodybuilding. It's like another Olympia, and Andrea looked very exceptional that year at the Rising Phoenix, in my opinion. She looked maybe a bit sharper than at that year's Olympia. But anyway, super ripped and aesthetic. And in the middle of the screen, we have the 2021 Rising Phoenix version. Possibly Andrea has made some improvements, right, from the previous year. We are gonna see. Also very conditioned and some great lines on her. And on the right, the recent 2021 Olympia version. Not necessarily the most conditioned, but sure she was a little fuller. So in the front double biceps, we have the 2021 Rising Phoenix in the middle in last place, in my opinion. Of course, a nice small waist and big arms, but the biceps look slightly more symmetrical in the 2020 Phoenix, and the lats look a bit fuller, as well as the wheels, they look a tad bigger, really close, but I would give last to 21 Phoenix, and 2020 Phoenix would get second place. First is, in my opinion, the 2021 Olympia on the far right, which just looks the best through the biceps and lats, and is the biggest, in my opinion, so it gets 1 point. And in the front lat spread, the middle version, 21 Rising Phoenix, is last, in my opinion, again. The lats are the least Dorian-esque, and the overall legs don't help the case. They are not better than in the other packages, so this version gets last again, but it could definitely spring back up as we proceed to the mandatory poses, right? Then 2021 Olympia is second this time. Andrea looks to have a better V-taper than in the 2020 Rising Phoenix, but there undisputably her lats are more bulbous and round, and they look a bit better in the pose if you ask me. Overall, I would give the lat spread to the 2020 Phoenix Pro show. And we got to the side chest pose, in which I think Andrea Shaw looks incredibly good. Everything looks well developed and separated. And so which version is gonna have to settle for last? I think 2020 Rising Phoenix in this pose. The pack is a bit covered up, but we can still notice it's not as striated as 21 Phoenix and not as dense as 21 Olympia. And I think the side leg, although looking great, is probably the weakest of the bunch too. So 2020 has 3 points for this pose. Runner-up is the 2021 Rising Phoenix, definitely more shredded than 2021 Olympia, we can all see that, but the Olympia has the hugest far pack and looks the biggest in the upper body and in the side leg, and she's not giving up that much, a whole lot of conditioning. So the Olympia is getting first here, in my opinion. I just prefer the fuller version. And when we turn to the back, the rear double biceps, 2021 Olympia definitely has a lower body disadvantage, just not as sharp and separated, and that's also very clear to see. For some reason, she looks much softer in these areas in this particular contest, probably just because she wasn't as shredded, but on the other hand, her back looks just as separated, so it sort of doesn't make sense, but the Olympia gets last place. And 2020 looks sharper through the glutes in the pose than the 2021 Rising Phoenix, but I still have the 2021 Phoenix winning this pose thanks to the back, which looks a bit sharper uh, for this version in the middle. So the edge goes to 2021 Rising Phoenix, although this could really go either way. Very similar versions. And the other back pose, the rear lat spread, I think in this pose, 2020 Rising Phoenix is gotta be last. And the back and legs are super detailed and defined, there's no doubt about it, but the lats are just the smallest and the V-taper looks by far the least impressive. Maybe she isn't spreading her lats fully, possibly, but I can't really tell, so I'm gonna have to put this version in last. Between the two 2021 versions of Andrea Shaw, I think the Rising Phoenix in the middle is just superior. Look at the width and the V-taper. I don't know how she did it, but she looks like a completely different athlete. Maybe it's the execution, and if so, she could definitely go back to it, in my opinion, and it would make a whole lot of difference. It looks killer. 2021 Olympia is second, as I see it, but admittedly it could even be last. It shows less details than 2020. And next up, the side triceps pose. Here Andrea looks incredible each and every year. So she does look great in 2021, the Rising Phoenix competition, but I think her arm, midsection and side leg overall just look the least impressive. So this version, in spite of looking mind-blowingly good, has to settle for last place. And 2021 Olympia looks impressive as well. In my opinion, a little bigger in the triceps and better in the side leg. But I have to give first place to 2020 Rising Phoenix because Andrea's midsection looks much more cinched in. The arm and shoulder looks picture perfect. Just definitely deserving of the first place position. That looks like a great side triceps. And unfortunately, the last pose here, very sad that we don't have the most muscular. So this is the ab and thigh, sort of. These are the best comparisons I was able to find. 2021 Olympia looks the least sharp, as we already saw in the previous poses. And in this pose, that works against her, as I see it. So last place for 21 Olympia. Okay, and 2021 Rising Phoenix. This package is separated and really aesthetic, and she looks amazing, but I have to put 2021 in first again. The quad feathering and amazing conditioning, separated obliques and abs, and also really good execution, if you ask me. Just a great ab and thigh, in my opinion. 2020 gets the last 1 pointer. And let's tally it up. This was incredibly close, really. One of the closest battles I've ever had on this channel in these comparisons. In third, very closely, I have with 2 poses and 15 points, coming of total 7 poses, guys. The 2021 Rising Phoenix, that's the shape in the middle. In this show, Andrea was in supreme conditioning, but I felt like the 2021 Olympia was just too much bigger as I saw it. It only got 14 points and actually won 3 poses, which is a great result. But it wasn't as shredded, and I don't think it was the best overall. I think the best physique we've seen so far was the 2020 Rising Phoenix show. It won 2 poses, but it only wound up with 13 total points. Surely this is a great version. However, if Andrea can duplicate the conditioning from the back with the new added muscle on the wheels and lats, I think it's gonna be her A game and her new best physique, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen going forward in her successful pro career, so she can definitely beat this shape. But just look at her, how aesthetic and shredded she looks. I think this is definitely her best shape up to date. But let me and all of us know down in the comment section below if you agree with me and if you like the women's bodybuilding division. And be respectful, please, if you don't. And also, what do you think about this comparison? It was extremely close, so opinions will surely vary. How many times, how many more titles can Andrea Shaw win? Is she another Iris Kyle? Tell me down below, and also your opinion on the video. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch some Andrea Shaw videos and also like and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day.